Are you a new life insurance agent that's struggling to find success in this industry right now? Well, I'm going to be intentional and first off, helping you understand that you're not alone in this. 90% of the agent force fails, and it's because they didn't know the four top reasons of failure in this industry. I want you to find success. I want you to experience the dollars and the just high levels of happiness that happens when you create a career, a calling, so to speak. But when you don't find success, there's nothing worse than failing out of an industry that, man, why did I not know this? So, we're going to uncover the four tips that took out most of the agent force so that hopefully these won't trip you up. So, before I go into this, my name's Jason. I'm your friend in the industry, and I'm so blessed to recruit and partner with some of the most amazing agents as well as agencies across this nation, selling shoulder to shoulder life, Medicare, and annuities face to face, but more importantly, in the telespace. So, free resources for your taking at jasonfinalexpense.com. And I hope this content is a blessing to you. So, first off, you're not alone. If you're a brand new insurance agent that's struggling right now, Rome wasn't built in a day, and getting real good in this industry takes time and grit. So, number one reason for agent failure is a lack of prospecting. A lot of agents that fail out really fail to move. If you want to make the money in this industry, you've got to have a lot of movement and you got to have a lot of people to see. Prospecting is powerful. And if you don't have people to see, you're probably not going to succeed in this industry because it's a numbers based business. It's performance based, but you got to have enough numbers to even have a chance of performing and getting profitability. So, a new insurance agent that doesn't prioritize prospecting is most likely never going to make the paper. So, the number one reason for insurance agent failure is a lack of prospecting and also sometimes a lack of having prospects to even talk to. You've got to have enough people to see if you're a face to face life insurance agent. If you're a life insurance telesales agent, you've got to have almost double the amount of prospects to phone if you want to find profitability, but you've got to prioritize action if you want to actually have a business. And a lot of insurance agents get into this space. They got shined on by maybe an MLM that's like, oh, we'll give you some free leads. It ended up being data and it destroyed your belief in this business. And belief's the backbone of everything. And if you don't have people to prospect, you don't even have a chance of making that paper. You've got to have enough folks because you're going to get told no a lot. It'll kind of erode you a little bit. It happens. Welcome to the insurance industry. So have a lot of prospects. You can overcome this rate of failure if you've got enough people to see. So number one reason is lack of prospecting. Number two, this is what takes out a lot of insurance agents, is a lack of effective communication. You've got to be good in your script. You've got to be one that can unpack these little temporary problems that your clients will come up with of, oh, I'm busy, or I got to talk to my dog or my kid, or when you go to the money, they go, I got to talk to somebody else. You've got to understand this is all about bringing value to your consumer, but you've got to be good at handling rebuttals if you want to make it in this industry. You've got to be very effective at communication. If not, you're not going to make the cash flow. You're going to fail out like 90% of the agent force. You've got to put time in. A huge pitfall for new agents is ineffective communication. It's so critical that you understand how to script, how to follow systems. Do not get creative in this space. It will hurt you. You've got to follow turnkey systems like what we have here at jasonfinalexpense.com. You've got to be one that can follow direction if you want to make the dollars or even have a chance of it. This is a performance-based business, and you've got to pretend that you're giving the best performance of your life when you're in front of a great person because lives hang in the balance. You've got to be good at handling your sales pitch if you want to survive. Your clients deserve the best of you, not sloppy seconds and the rest of you when you get into those homes. You've got to be ready to handle those rocky times where they say, I got to talk to somebody else, mail it to me. I'm too busy. Not right now. Come back later. You've got to be ready. You've got to be a polished professional, not a pushy salesman, but you've got to put the practice in. Just like if you were doing a play or maybe you were a star in a movie, well, guess what? They script too. You've got to be sincere, but you've got to be practiced and honed so that you can help these great folks. It's about you being an effective communicator if you want a chance of survival. And agents that fail in this industry, they're ineffective at communication. Now, number three, this kind of goes into communication a little bit, but this is where you have inadequate training. A lot of life insurance places out there that are recruiting anybody with a pulse. You know what I'm talking about. They're MLM based. They kind of let you think that you can do almost no work and somehow you're going to make powerful wealth. My friends, it's not the truth. This is an insurance industry. You got to be real intentional about a 1099 mind and grind. You're going to get paid what you're worth. Some days you're overpaid, some days you're underpaid, and that's tough to stomach. Those that find success go, you know what? I'm going to train like my career depends on it. And I'm going to put so much time into my training that when I truly get in front of a prospect, I am ready. You've got to be one that can dive in. You've got to continuously train and hone yourself. We prioritize training in our agency so deeply. And that's important for you to know. Agents that fail to train. They think they can just buy leads, have a paper script, or just buy enough leads and just say whatever comes out of their mouth. You won't find success this way. You got to have systems. This is just like baking a cake or making some cookies. If you don't follow the recipe, it's going to taste horrible and you'll probably throw it in the trash. So many insurance agents throw their careers in the trash because they don't train, they don't follow systems that work. And you know what? The business won't work out. And you're going to join the 90% of the agent force that fails if you fail to train and follow good systems that are proven. It's so important that you vet your trainer. Make sure if you're diving into life insurance telesales that you've joined an organization like ours that has a background in telesales deeply and intimately. You've got to have folks that can make the way for you. I've been in this industry over 20 plus years, 2+ decades with my insurance background and telesales combined. This is powerful for you to know that you're following people that are doing the job as opposed to just recruiting you, handing you a free script and saying, I hope you make it. You've got to be one that can prioritize training if you want to make it in this space. It's not an industry where you can get sloppy. The successful are very boring. They really bore down into the one niche. All right. The riches are in the niches. You've heard that said. Get good at training and train like your career truly depends on it because, my friends, it does. And the moment that you don't train, you're walking yourself backwards and you're going to get sloppy. Your sales won't stick. And you're going to probably say, this business isn't for me. Now, the fourth reason for agent failure is lack of persistence. You've got to be stubborn. And I don't mean pushy stubborn. I'm talking about you've got to put your foot down and be stubborn in a place of persistence, persistence, persistence. Pain will come. Are you ready for it? Can you charge when you're told, oh, I got to call somebody else before I can make a decision, or call me later, Jason? You've got to be ready. You've got to be persistent, not pushy, but you've got to be persistent. You've got to make the next phone call when you've got told that you need to go somewhere that isn't heaven. You know what I'm talking about here. Or maybe you got beeped, beeped, beeped by the client on that one phone call right now. You've got to be one that's got a thick skin about you, but a soft heart. Go to the next phone call. Get back to prospecting. Lack of persistence is a huge reason for insurance agent failure. New insurance agents fail because they gave up too easily. When one objection came, it says, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Have a great day. Click. You're not going to make the cash if you don't know how to handle rebuttals and objections in an amazingly professional way. That's why you need training. Training is so important. If you need free resources, reach out at jasonfinalexpense.com. We'll serve you in any way we can. It's very important, though, that you're equipped and you're ready to engage consumers. You've got to be ready to engage if you want to make it. And a lot of agents, they lack persistence. They get told some negative things, and then you know what they do? They don't get on the phone calls. They just say, you know what? I'm going to give up. Instead of getting up and giving your best to the consumer, this business takes a little bit of time to build. Just like if you were building a building, you've got to have a strong foundation. Your foundation is training. Your foundation is prospecting. Your foundation is being an effective communicator, not always being one that is perfect. I'm not perfect, and I've done this a long time, but you've got to be extremely proficient so that you're ready and powerful to meet needs and solve problems. You want to get paid more? Get really good at solving problems. You want to make it? Don't get discouraged by rejection. Know that you've got a work family that will be with you along the journey so that hopefully you can find success. Success isn't promised in this space, but when you make it, there's no better life than being a life insurance agent. You will be able to be one that can make your own schedule, but you're going to make every hour count. You're going to be intentional. And in the words of Yoda, do or do not. There is no try in this space. You're not going to, oh, well, I'll try to make a couple phone calls, and if it doesn't work out, well, maybe I'll take a nap. No, no, no. You've got to be one that is persistent, resistant to the feelings of rejection that'll cause you to fail. because belief's the backbone of this business. And when you let those feelings creep in, it can keep you from making the face-to-face sales calls that you need to make to find success, or even the phone calls that you need in the final expense telesales industry or life insurance space. You've got to be one that can be sincere and keep pushing if you want to make that paper. So to recap, if you want to fail in this industry, number one, lack prioritization on prospecting. That's the most important thing. Action, action, action will solve your problems or cause your problems in this space. Number two, if you're not an effective communicator, it's going to cause you so much cash to bleed out because you can't close the leads. And you've got to be one that can have scalpel sharp precision when you're in front of that person. If not, you probably won't make your paper. And that's a sad reality of the insurance industry. Number three, inadequate training. People that fail to train normally don't take home the same money as those that do. This is a business that is all about those that are doing are those that have a chance of getting. And if you don't put much into it, you probably won't get much out of it. You've got to be one that, number four, doesn't lack persistence. Don't be pushy, but be persistent in helping your clients solve their problem. And I hope this content helps you today. Know that you've got what it takes in this space. Be positive, be powerful. And if we can do anything to serve you, reach out at jasonfinalexpense.com, and we'll see you soon.